Yo, what are the 3 biggest mistakes I've made in the music business? Stay tuned. Mistake Mondays.
Indie Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this hip scenario. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on? My name is Ruslan, hip-hop artist, creative entrepreneur. I run a small mom-and-pop shop boutique label in San Diego, California called King's Dream Entertainment. And this is a brand new series I'm starting called Mistake Mondays. And this is why. I recently read a quote by Richard Dawkins, and he said, organisms that can only learn from trial and error will lose to organisms that can learn from others' trial and error. Meaning that if you're going through life and the only way you get breakthrough, the only way you learn is if you're making mistakes and falling on your face, you will lose to people that could gleam at someone else and learn from their mistakes. So that's the goal with this series. Is I'm going to be very vulnerable with you guys. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to share some of my biggest mistakes, some of my biggest regrets in the music business. So this is the first one. I'm super excited. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, but let's get right into it. The biggest mistake that I think I've made doing business, music of business, business of music, whatever you want to call it, is allowing the wrong people into your circle and developing codependent relationships. Now, I'm going to elaborate on this. I grew up single mother. My father wasn't really in the picture. There was a lot of codependency. There was a lot of toxicity in the way I viewed relationships. I've always been kind of a stable individual. I've always been a self-starter. I've always been a person that's driven. And sometimes when you are that person, despite your own codependencies and your own inadequacies, you'll attract people that aren't the best for you. And so throughout my entire career of doing music, from the very beginning, when I was 19, 18 years old, just getting started, I would always end up in these weird groups and these weird collectives where my success was dependent on other people. And that's why till this day, I am not a big fan of groups. Most groups don't work out. And I try to tell people, man, build yourself up, build your brand up. It's fun when you're working with other people. It's fun being around other people. Here's the deal, man. Being a creative and being an entrepreneur is freaking lonely. And so I consistently would end up the same pattern, the same cycle. I would be in relationships. Not that these people were bad. These were people that were cool. These were friends of mine. It was just that the way the relationships would evolve is sometimes when you come off as a person that's stable and you got it together, you'll attract people that kind of you'll attract people that feed off your energy. They'll feed you energy, but in the long term, they could just up and leave and bounce, and then you're stuck trying to figure it out. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna move next? And so now I have to make sure that my personal brand, that Ruslan, the artist, the creative, the YouTuber, all the different things I do, that is priority. And so if you're just starting out, be careful to not get sucked into groups with people that have different values, with people that have different directions, that live in different parts of the country. And that's gonna be most people. So just avoid groups. If I were you, avoid groups. Find creative collaborations. Right now I'm in a very creative space and I have the opportunity to collaborate with Zach Sparazzo, collaborate with John Keith, but none of us are interdependent. Man, being in a group with someone is like being in a marriage, and I believe you should only be in a marriage with one person, but call me old-fashioned. The second biggest mistake that I've ever made in the music business is being resistant to technology early on. And I'm gonna get very specific. I got onto mp3.com. Some of y'all don't even know what that is, but that was like the social media for artists. It was dope. It was paying artists to have their music on there very early. This is like the late 90s. And you could sell your music on there. It was a really cool platform. mp3.com died, and then came this thing called MySpace. And there was a lot of careers that were made on MySpace. Soulja Boy, Drake, a lot of people exploded on MySpace. And I'll be honest, man, I don't know what it was, but I was super stubborn, super prideful, and I was very, very resistant to MySpace. And I just didn't see the vision. I was like, well, they're not paying us. Why would I put my music up there for free? What do you mean? And I was super resistant to it. I was super prideful. And then that kind of made me late on that platform and didn't really give me the edge of being an early adapter, of being an outlier. And so as Twitter came around, as Instagram came around, I was super early on those. I was, again, late on Facebook. I was late on YouTube. And so if you are serious about making a career out of music, making a career out of being a creative, I would encourage you, man, get on these platforms and get on them early as possible. If you see something starting to bubble, just go in there, poke around, see what it is. What is this platform? What is it about? So recently, as in like a year and a half ago, I was on Musical.ly, just trying to figure out how Musical.ly worked. I heard Gary Vee talk about it. I was like, I need to be up on it. I started making videos. I was like, that's not really my lane, but I was open to it. I was humble to try different things. So be open to where technology is going and make content natively for the technology, meaning that you can't just take one video that you post on Twitter and you make a 2-minute video for Twitter, post the same video on YouTube, post the same video on Instagram. Like, be native about every single platform. I'm struggling in this right now. I'll be honest with you guys. Instagram rolled out the vertical video feature. A lot of people are resistant to it. I haven't been taking advantage of it, but I need to. So don't be resistant to technology. And the third biggest mistake that I've made in the music business is not being clear on my why and my who. Why do I do music? Your why is so important. You have to define your life why. You have to define your wife. That wasn't supposed to rhyme. Your wife, your marriage, your family, your career. You have to define, why do you exist? Why do you do what you do? What is the point of it all? And I wasn't clear for a very long time on why I made music. I just was like, yo, I make music. I love God. I want to do something positive. And it was kind of shallow. And I didn't discover my why until about 10 years into doing music, where I was a part of a group called The Breaks. And we were traveling around, and I would do these big Christian conventions and Christian conferences. What I discovered was there was a bunch of young believers who said they were disciples of Jesus but weren't actually living it out. And I said, man, I want to make music and content that empowers, encourages, and inspires them. And so that's where King's Dream Entertainment came from, is to come alongside, empower, give people information and inspiration. And it took me a long time to find that why. It also took me a long time just to clearly articulate it. And it took me an even longer time to figure out who I'm trying to reach. With this YouTube channel, with my music, my audience is predominantly males. They're predominantly between the ages of 18 to 25, and that's who I tend to speak to. I'm a white rapper, so guess what? I tend to attract a lot of white rappers. That's just kind of how these things go, and so be okay with understanding your who and your why early on. So that is the 3 biggest mistakes I've made in the music business. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you got any other questions about other mistakes I've made by dropping a comment below. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and if you want to partner and help make these videos happen, make sure you connect with us on Patreon. Peace.